Alright, we should almost be here. And we are live. Good Monday morning, everyone out there in internet land. Oh, I gotta mute. Hold on, sorry. There we go. So, good Monday morning, everyone out there in internet lands. This is the Foolish Tech Show, and we're here to answer any support questions or anything in general about our software. You can join us at foolishtechshow.com and jump in the IRC chat, also at foolishit.com/live. Join our IRC chat and join, looks like we got Glenn and Shuk in there right now. And you can ask us questions and we'll show off demos, answer anything, do anything of that nature. Otherwise, we'll just talk about random news stories and the weather and things like that. So how's it going, everyone? Starting the week off well?
Trying to. My mom had her flight out very early this morning, about 5:30, I think it was. So hopefully she's off. She's in Cleveland now, which is nice.
Did you track her on the way out?
Actually, I didn't. Just the early hour, I decided to skip that part of it.
What? Why would the early hour have anything to do with that?
I don't know. I mean, I just wasn't awake for it. I mean, my thing was on, but
Anyway, it looks like we got Zombie Worm and Glenn in the chat. Welcome, both of you. Michael, the chat being at the bottom cuts me off when there's only 4 people there. It's like I'm just a severed head floating around.
well, I figured since it was just you, it wouldn't be a problem. But let's see. What to do about that?
You put it at the top where it doesn't cut anybody's head off?
No, but then it wouldn't interfere with you.
Or you just move the whole video window up so it's not taking over the chat area.
Oh, actually, that might be an interesting idea.
Oh my gosh. Where you just randomly move it around. Anyway. Futurama. Yeah, like I'm in a glass jar. Head in the glass jar. That would be cool if that's how they preserve people. If only we're some of the lucky ones to have that happen.
By the way, our former First Lady Nancy Reagan passed away the other day, and just wanted to wish her well wherever she is.
I don't see why they achieve such celebrity status.
Just an analysis dad, I'm sure she appreciates that.
Yeah. She took a long time after Dick passed away, didn't she?
He died in the Gipper died in 2004, and so yeah, I guess so.
Nancy Reagan, as Glenn put it.
Actually, it's Nancy Davis, by the way. She was an actress. Not a particularly good actress, but she was an actress.
Wasn't Ronald Reagan?
Yeah,
yes.
he was a better actor, though. He was in a lot of movies.
Gipper.
Yeah, he was a lot.
One for the Gipper.
Yeah, his acting career was a lot more substantial than his wife's, and that was actually his second marriage to Nancy Davis, to tell you the truth. From what I understand, there was a previous marriage, and that's why only some of his kids are his kids.
Well, to start off the morning news, we have a person in the Netherlands flew their Phantom, I think it was a Phantom 2, yeah, up to 3.4 kilometers above
Yeah, I saw that.
the sky. Well, not above the sky, but above the ground. That's like how many miles?
How many kilometers was it? 11?
3.2,
Oh.
3.4.
Oh, that's only like 2 miles.
But it had a lot of people worried because that's where you start getting into actual real air traffic and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And apparently, did you notice that he
11,000
only
feet.
had 4% of the battery left when he landed?
Yeah, just barely landed.
Yeah, and can you imagine, that's a fairly substantial sized drone. If that had fallen out of the sky, let's say at that altitude, and reached terminal velocity and collided with some being or someone, that that could have been bad. There's a reason they have the laws, and I know might not be the best, and they're not might be perfectly worked out just yet, but I think we do need to avoid harm. And after seeing the kid with the eyeball and now that story, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, it does look like you did it right over a populated area, like just in his backyard or something. I thought it was cool that in the video you can actually see the curvature of the Earth from that height in that video.
Oh, that's got to be a hoax, right? We all know it's flat.
You may think so, but anyway,
If the Earth was flat, how do we have mountains?
Yeah, right. There you go, Tank. The Earth is obviously not flat. It is very bumpy. Did any of y'all see that they're trying to use science to track down Bansky?
Who?
Bansky, the artist that does like crazy stuff, and everybody really likes it, and it's like a political outcry type artist.
Never heard of him.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody actually knows who he is, but he's done a lot of graffiti art and various art around the world, actually. And they actually went through and used. They have a few people that they think might be him, but then they overlaid where his art's been done and tried to narrow it down to being, hey, it's this person or possibly this person more, like who did more stuff around their home base kind of operations type stuff.
Mm-hmm. And?
Pretty interesting, I thought. They still don't know for sure, but they think it's one guy.
Okay, interesting. So we found another Waldo. Great.
It's pretty interesting. It's interesting that an artist of that fame and notoriety has been able to stay hidden this long and still continue to produce art. Like in the day of internet age, you would think that it would be hard for someone to maintain their privacy. It obviously is extremely hard for someone like Michael to maintain his privacy.
I hate you.
What? It's not my fault that some artist is better at maintaining his privacy than you are. He just wants it more. This is something that relates to us. A WordPress plugin got bought out, updated, and the latest update contained code to add an administrator on the site, as well as steal the administrative credentials and send them back to the creator of the WordPress plugin. So a lot of people were up in arms about it, but obviously it's not something you would catch in the latest updates. Not like they would say, hey, by the way, we're stealing your credentials and adding our own admin user. But a bunch of people in the comments did afterwards, and it kind of points out like how dangerous it is to not only be using WordPress to run your whole site, but then also using plugins by unknown developers and not being able to really review all of that all at the same time and know exactly what they're doing. But we weren't using that plugin, by the way, so it was Custom Content Type Manager. And Microsoft apparently lost a server over the past weekend as well. They actually had to go back and beg their partners for CA audit data.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah. I wonder what the begging process actually looks like.
They lost 147 root certificates.
Yeah, that's makes you trust them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that someone of their size is having issues with server and data backups.
Yeah, the world is going to shit.
Well, that's a bright outlook on it.
Yeah, just everything's getting worse.
Hey, Nick, so there was a specific update that caused downloads and installs, blue screens of death, slow systems, and more with Windows 10. KB3140743.
I was thinking about him when he
That
had
may
those
have been the one.
problems. Yeah, I was thinking about him when he had those problems.
Mine was a build. It's 1511.
Yep, it's for that build.
But it was like the build that was not anything after that, or if it, I don't know, but it came with the build.
Yeah, it looks like the build included this update and caused blue screens and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I couldn't. I spent a whole day screwing with it. Well, actually, no. I spent a whole day screwing around, but I spent a little time screwing with it, and I was mad. It was like, I was trying to do other things, and it kept rebooting and blue screening, and I was like, ah.
yeah,
I didn't want to fix it or troubleshoot it for a while, and then finally had to break down and do it. And I just restored what previous build.
the Surface Pro 4 and the Surface Book also resulted in freezes and lockups and stuff from that build. So they are not doing very good with that one. Unsure, Glenn. I don't know if they're actually rolling that build out yet or not. I would hope not, considering how many issues they had with it on all their preview people. But wouldn't surprise me if they're too busy focused on a server having gone down. They just push out a build that has tons of errors and issues.
Preview builds are there solely to see how much damage they can accomplish.
Not everyone at Microsoft works in the same department. I mean,
they do. They all have big daily meetings.
Because one department has a problem, another department doesn't necessarily,
It's close to the same group. They're all servers.
Oh, we're close to the same group. They are probably different people, never met, different locations, never touched. No.
And by the way, they probably all work in India. You know how big they are with the H-1Bs.
H-1Bs don't mean they work in India. That means that they brought Indians over to work in their place.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and
by the way, those Indians don't stay here; they go back. So.
Yeah, but then they bring more. It's called you're importing workers so you can pay them less and treat them horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and send them back.
At the same time, taking jobs away from actual people who already are resident.
Yeah, I know it's despicable.
Hey, Glenn posted an article early this morning as well. about a fully functioning OS X ransomware. And I think, is this the one that came over with the transmission torrent software? I think that's the one that
I
had
had yet to get my niece's laptop or MacBook, which was supposedly infected. I'll let you guys know when I get that. But currently, it's not in my hands.
Yeah, so a version of the BitTorrent client transmission came with this ransomware and actually encrypted stuff. And looks like we got CyberCrypt agrees with that. So yeah, apparently MacBooks are starting to get the ransomware crunch. No, I do not believe we're going to extend CryptoPrevent to Mac. From what I've heard, development on Mac is extremely difficult and arduous process.
Arduous, but yes.
Whatever process. Hard to say, hard to do. So yeah, there's those. Oh, and after their big announcement, Amazon decided to bring encryption back on their devices. That link is courtesy of RTM Tech.
Yeah, they did a 360 or 180 on that one, but
yeah, they actually said it was because no one used it.
Well, Amazon's
bullshit.
Yeah, right. They're like, oh, we took it out because no one used it, not because of the whole big debate going on right now.
Yeah, that's crap.
But
their software
honestly,
is
how many of y'all have your tablets or phones encrypted?
I actually do not have my Nexus 7 encrypted.
Oh, terrible privacy policy. Proctor, Nick, do y'all have your phones or tablets?
I don't with the most recent what you do that I did to it, but I used to do that.
The only thing I have on it's a passcode.
Yeah, I have mine encrypted.
I also don't ever even go anywhere to leave it anywhere.
First thing I did when I got my phone was throw it into the ocean, so I'll make sure that nobody could hack into it. They have to find it first.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like a preventive measure.
No, that seems like actually here, hack my phone measure.
No, they're gonna find it at the bottom of the ocean. They're really gonna send out a drone and scour the entire ocean for it.
Someone just watched you throw a phone into the ocean. They probably went and grabbed it, threw it in a bowl of rice, and now are impersonating you.
I didn't say I threw it from the beach. I dropped it over the water over a plane while I was flying towards Europe. Yeah.
Which airport did you fly out of?
Yeah.
JFK.
Which one did your mom fly out of this morning?
I don't remember. It was. I think it was.
It's the one by your house, isn't it?
No,
yeah, it's right down the street, I think.
No. It's BWI, Baltimore Washington International. Yeah.
G something?
No. Shut up.
Swear it would have been
Shut
G's.
up.
What was the name of that airport that Michael wanted to fly out of?
No.
Took the plane ticket for the wrong airport?
Oh. Well, it wasn't RDU, but it was close.
Something with a color in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Barney will get my phone. No, it's not. Stop it. We need to switch topics. Look, RTM Tech has a question about Barney.
What he's talking about? Barney's already got your phone.
Well, all right. Oh,
Are you lined up with the runway, Michael?
yes. My house is at the end of the runway. In fact, they put a pool. They usually put water at the end. I guess to help. I don't know. What is it to help stop the plane? I don't know. But they just built my house at the end of the runway.
Which airport runway was that?
Baltimore Washington International.
There's 9 houses at the end of that one. What's going to be funny is when Michael does move to Baltimore, and then he's freaking out that this episode has his actual location now.
By the way, did you guys see that story about? I don't have the link in front of me, but did you guys see the story about the NRC, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, that they found a fundamental flaw in like all the nuclear reactors in this country, and they recommended that they all be shut down? But guess what? I'm guessing that none of them will be shut down, and the problem will not be fixed until there's an actual explosion. But that's just based upon previous experience with them.
You have a link on that, Michael?
No, I actually didn't. None of you guys heard it. I'm trying to find it right now, but
I did hear about it.
yeah. As soon as I can locate it, I'll let you know. Was it on? I think it was on ours. NRC. No. NRC. Just do NRC.
I have it.
Okay, go ahead and post it. Thank you.
Yeah, I doubt that there's going to be any explosions from that. More likely, leaks will occur, but
did you post the article about Phoronix doing the Pi 3 benchmarks in comparison to others?
no.
Okay, well, this is our Pi news for today. Oh, that's not the right chat. Shit, I shouldn't be on my computer.
Whoa, what is making all that noise?
All right, so basically, they're saying nobody should buy a Pi 3. It's expensive, and you can get much better single board computers for the price.
Didn't you already buy one?
Yeah, well, I want the Odroid C2, but I can't get my hands on one because South Korea and PayPal don't play well together, apparently. But
Oh, that's right, because you didn't know how to use PayPal. You couldn't get one.
I know how to use PayPal. At any rate, so I decided there was a Kickstarter for Pine 64, and so I guess the link, I think it's pine64.com.
When does that actually ship?
And that ships in May.
Next year?
No, 2 months from now. Their what is it? A64 Plus model has 2 gigs of RAM, built-in Wi-Fi, or I got it with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. That's an optional module, but the one I purchased has it. It's a little bit larger. I don't care so much. I'm not using it for anything that size is super duper important. It's a little
You're
bit
not
larger.
using it for anything. You have absolutely no use for it at all, except just to have it.
I use it every day, Brantley, in multiple ways.
You don't even have one yet. What are you talking about?
My Pi 2.
What do you use it for? You have it loaded up with a game console.
Yeah, retro gaming and my Pi hole.
RTM Tech, there was a blog post about our server resolution, and actually, that's something we should talk about, is what do you guys feel about what Nick proposed in that blog post? Hold on, I'm getting you the link for the blog post here. So the updates and downloads should be resolved, but the biggest thing it would have affected would have been SFX Mini remote deployments, and Nick came up with an idea to redesign the SFX Mini to be able to host it on your own server. And he wanted to know what your thoughts were on that. So do you all have any opinion on setting up the DSFX Mini to be hosted on your own FTP servers. I probably did a horrible job of explaining that, Nick, if you wanted to add anything else on that.
Huh?
The SFX Mini redesign.
It was just like, hey, should I use time on this now? So you don't have to rely on our servers for.
And so would that be they would create an SFX Mini and then it would point to their FTP server, or?
Yes, like, so if they're using their FTP server already for their config storage, then they would just be able to upload the binaries to that server, and then the SFX Mini would use that. If they're that would be the plan. The other plan would be if they're not using an FTP server and they're using our cloud, then they could host on their web server, like a zip file with the binaries or something in it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just a thought. I guess if you're still running on the cloud server, you're still on our server, but on the other token, it is a different server than the other server that's problematic this weekend.
Yeah. So if any of y'all have any opinions on that, feel free to shout them out in the IRC chat. I thought it was a good idea and awesome.
I think I might just do it anyway.
Yeah, idea either way. So that may be on the way and coming.
The 20 people who really want it aren't in the chat right now, so sure. You know.
Probably. Yes, and that's a good point, Cybercrypt. He said self-hosting would solve random and funny issues from other countries like Australia, or if you're having internet tube issues, that would probably help, as well as being in your own geographical location. That would help too.
RTM Tech, that's a good idea. AWS for FTP. You can use anything you want, but the AWS free tier, you can just roll a anything you want server, and yeah, just use it. I mean, some people probably even use like just one or a couple of attacks or something like that. They probably even just use the like a built-in FTP server on your router or something like that, depending on. I for the longest time used one on my home router and did DNS to that, and
that link I just posted is actually a post from, or a walkthrough by Nick about setting up your own AWS server with FileZilla and being able to use that for your hosting. So
I've been doing I don't know why, because it was easier. FileZilla. Yeah.
FileZilla is very easy.
Way easier.
Very easy to set up, actually.
I think maybe actually I could go ahead and do an AMI image for that and make it public, I guess, and do something like that. I've been dragging my butt on that one because I want to write an app to do some of the post, deployment configuration for individual settings and whatnot for other people, but also because I wasn't actually going to do it for D7.2 FTP server. I was going to do it for the D7X thing when the management thing was out. I was going to do it for the D support suite and the crypto prevent thing as well.
I would think that just focusing on the SFX update account would probably be fine.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Sonar Deep Tech points out NAS for FTP as well.
Yep, there's actually a ton of options out there.
Yeah, that's why it was FTP was easy, but it was also available on so many devices. And
Oh, did you guys hear the guy that create or put the @ symbol in the email and worked on the to, from, and subject things in the email originally?
The guy that created email, you mean?
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Well, it wasn't just him. It was on a team. But anyway, yeah, he died. He passed away at 74, I believe it was. Kind of young. So for everybody typing emails today,
Yes, thank you for that horribly insecure and terrible method of spam delivery that you gave us. Wonderful invention you created. Thank you.
that's
Thank you
still
so
in
much.
use today. Since
Yeah.
His name was Ray Tomlinson.
yeah, Ray Tomlinson. There we go.
Do you have a link to that, Michael, or are you just...
No, it's just something I read this weekend. I don't know what the link is. Scuba diver survives being sucked into nuclear power plant? What?
Yep. He was in a tube for 5 minutes, ended up in a cooling pool. RTM Tech. That's a good one.
There's a link.
All right, thanks.
Also, Nancy Reagan passed away.
Yeah, Michael was very upset about that to start off the show.
Oh, okay.
It's a bad year for deaths. A lot of people are dying. Yeah, for that nuclear scuba diver, it's kind of interesting that they didn't have that like marked in any way. It was two guys. They saw some structures underwater, and they decided to dive down there. And then all of a sudden, one of them felt the current suck him up, and he got sucked into the nuclear power plant.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Like, you would have thought that they would have had some buoys around or like danger. Like, I mean, on
Yeah,
dams, they have big
yeah.
blockades that say don't go near.
Yeah.
That seems like a big security risk for the power plant too.
Absolutely. The infrastructure is horribly unguarded in this country.
Well, I mean, security risks, yeah. Like, apparently he had two options. Either he ended up in a cooling pool, which he had to have an employee help him out of, or he ended up in a, like some chopping thing that, like, chopped everything up that came into there. So,
Warning, this area sucks.
yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys have been following the whole, what are they called?
So he wasn't killed?
Stingray. That's
He actually ended up in a cooling pool, which, I mean, I think he probably still was at high risk for nuclear
Radiation poisoning?
high risk of stupidity, basically. Okay. Anyway, the Stingray, if you guys have been following, these are the cell phone interceptors that the police just indiscriminately use and don't need warrants for around the country. That in fact, it's been so used in 1 year. Apparently, it was used over 4,000 times. And that seems a little excessive to me. But in case you haven't heard, you guys should take a look at that and find out that apparently
It's funny that you rely on your cell phone so much, and of all the providers, you said that your cell phone provider was the one you trusted the most.
No, I just think that their network is reliable. I didn't say there was any trust issues with them, just that their network is reliable.
Obviously not reliable if a cops can just set up a tower in between you and the.
No, it's any cell phone network. It has nothing to do with my provider.
I know it's any cell phone. That's what my point is. It's just any provider.
Anyway, but it's good to see that the courts are starting to realize that just by turning on your phone, you don't give consent to be monitored, because that's basically their argument, is that, oh, you're aware of this technology, public, ever since Snowden came out, so whenever you turn it on, you're basically consenting to allowing us to record it. No, that's complete BS. Complete BS. And that's basically the thing that they've been going on this whole time. Can you believe something in our society this day and age would be like that, regardless if it's related to technology or not? Some of these things are just common sense. They have nothing to do with technology. And people claim that, oh, it's the technology that just kind of got in the way and made us all, crazy. No, it has nothing to do with that. You guys are just stupid.
Cybercrypt had to extract APC Smart USB or UPS battery today. Yeah, tweet and share the link for that, Cybercrypt. I'm interested to see what you mean by you had to extract a battery.
Oh, yeah. Did you find out it's a much cheaper battery if you just open it up and replace it with the lithium-ion batteries that we use for our smokies, our vaporizers?
While we wait on the delay to catch up, Zombie Worm, there's some actual Pi news. You can add, if you have a touch screen, you can add the Star Trek interface to your Raspberry Pi.
Dankeschön. Oh, wait, I can move the thing down now.
I found some pretty cool videos. Adam Savage from what's that show? Mythbusters. Thank you.
Yeah.
He has a Phantom Inspire, and here's a couple videos of him talking about and flying it the first time he took it out, and his case and travel setup he's got for it. I thought those were pretty cool. Then there's another video of a guy using FPV but flying along with the car that he's riding in. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they do some other stuff in the end of that video that was interesting. And another interesting video of 3 guys out flying around in it's like a golf course that looks like it was set up to have RC flyers. So I thought it was interesting that they had like remote control boats, remote control planes, remote control helicopters, and then these 3 guys were the only ones with quadcopters, and they were like just zipping around everywhere. It was, and the planes and helicopters and boats were dumb comparatively. But pretty interesting videos, I thought.
There's some politics news, but Anonymous hacks Donald Trump and his voicemails. I thought those were a little bit enlightening. Well, a little bit, mildly.
It's just people that left him messages. I mean,
yeah.
That's not enlightening. That's people that he sent to voicemail.
No. But what they said, who they were, and who they represented, they were.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of people probably call him, and he sends a bunch of them to voicemail.
No, but what they had to say to him, liberal media sucking up to him. I mean,
Did you listen to any of them?
Did
you actually, even better, did you hear how they actually got it?
Yeah.
No, I just read a headline.
Yeah, I just read the headline, yeah.
I read a headline and decided to talk about it. They actually called up his carrier and got them to change the password so that
Yeah.
they could log into
Socially
his account and
engineered it.
download all his voicemail.
Yeah. Nice.
Presidential candidate had
That's how easy it is.
his account socially engineered.
What account? What account?
His cell
Voicemail,
phone.
his cell
They
phone.
called up his cell phone provider and said, "Hey, we're Donald Trump. Change my voicemail password to this."
You know what's so sad is they probably could have said exactly, "Hey, we're Donald Trump." Like, we're Donald Trump. They probably could have done that. And
Yeah, and they would have just been like, "Okay." I bet it was probably more of
I want to do the Pope's voicemail. I'm gonna. Who's his carrier? Yes, that would be great.
they
the Pope service or something.
Yeah. What does he use?
He probably rolls his own.
Rolls his own cell
He's the
service.
Vatican cell phone service, and they have it and you don't.
Cybercrypt. I didn't see the DM. Wait, did you actually DM on Twitter?
And yeah, and this is why.
Oh, whoa!
And I was wondering why. I was over at a friend's house, and he was kept on playing these Ted Cruz videos with being like, with different voice overlay. What do they call that when they're not saying what they're saying?
Yeah, I got your tweet. Thanks. So this is the extracted batteries. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, that doesn't look.
Nice.
Did
Yeah,
you
that's
open
what
them
he
up?
meant by
Did you open them up and get inside of them?
because they wouldn't slide out.
It doesn't look like he had to open them up. They were
Ready to pop.
Yeah.
I want to see the inside. I want to see the pretty insides of that. But listen, basically, some people just have faces that aren't believable, and I didn't know that there was something called a Duchenne smile. Why is my face there?
just. What are you talking about?
But anyway,
Unbelievable.
oops. A Duchenne smile.
Why are you using your desktop?
Probably shouldn't be.
Not probably shouldn't be. Definitely shouldn't be.
They're filled with acid. I know RTM Tech. Get that valuable acid out of there.
How is it valuable?
I mean, well, it shouldn't be, thrown away in the environment at the very least. So, and with all the lead crap going on in Flint, Michigan, and all that other stuff, I think the lead is probably in that battery shouldn't be exposed and should be properly, taken care of. Dealt with.
Speaking of lead, I was at an antique store this weekend, and they had, I guess, antique toy soldiers that were made from lead.
Nice.
Chew on those.
That's nice for your kids to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all those edible part pieces, little tiny ones, before those laws came into effect.
So, Hunter S. Thompson's son wrote a book about growing up as Hunter S. Thompson's son.
Oh, that must be horrible. So his father was a horrible father, and he is very sad as a result of it.
No, it probably would have been awesome to be Hunter S. Thompson's son.
I don't think so. Maybe. Well, maybe. If I was the one thing that I always wanted as a child was stability, and it just doesn't sound like being the son of Hunter S. Thompson would have brought any stability to my home life.
Why did you? What kind of? You wanted stability as a child?
Yes.
Weird. remember the days laying at home in bed just thinking, why isn't my life more stable?
Dude, we moved so often. I constantly had to get new friends and new schools and
I'm
crap.
gonna be 8 soon, and
It was
man, I just
horrible. It
really
was
need to
horrible.
settle
I just
down.
wanted my parents to stay in one place and to have long-term jobs and and to develop relationships in their communities and stuff. And that just never happened. And it was always a horrible, tumultuous time period.
Okay, so well, there's the difference. Is Hunter S. Thompson's life of moving probably would have been way cooler than
Hmm.
just your average regular people moving
Uh-oh.
around doing stuff.
I got a phone call, apparently. Who's calling me? It's an 800 number. That's no good. I'll just hang up on them.
Let's just play it live on the air.
Yeah, should have just answered it. RTM Tech wants
And then they would be like, "Is this Michael?"
Brown.
Yeah.
RTM Tech wants to know: did they ever move and forget to tell you, Michael?
Actually, at the funny story, but no, but at the end they actually said we're moving with or without you, and I chose not to go that last time.
So is this when they moved next door?
No, they moved to St. Louis at the time, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, so I didn't go with them.
Michael, that was Microsoft calling. They wanted to talk about the errors on your computer.
Oh, excellent.
Funny.
So going down to 0 milligrams took me through a whole bottle in the weekend.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How'd you have time to do anything else?
It was like I constantly was hitting it.
You're doing 0 nicotine? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
I can't imagine going through it that fast,
Yeah,
man.
I tried
It takes
going
me-
down to 8 or 6, and I had
4 weeks to
I had the same problem. I couldn't put the thing down, and I'm like, man, I can't do this.
I've been able to do 6.
I was going through juice like nobody's business. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go back up.
I go through more juice at 6 than I did previously, but I've been able to do okay and still relatively minimally hit it. But I can't get below 6. Everything I've tried below 6 has been what Brantley described. And but with 0, the bad thing is with all the other ones though, you can smoke more and eventually get the hit the feeling you're looking for. But with the 0, you could go through 6 bottles in a weekend. It's still not going to give you what you want, what you're looking for, what you're chasing there, man.
That's what I'm hoping is I stop chasing it.
Best of luck, man.
Yeah, well, that will eventually happen. How long has it been? Just this past weekend? That's it? Yeah, you need a couple of weeks. You need a month actually, probably. A good solid month.
I know how long nicotine lasts.
That static image of Michael is spooky. I don't know, where did it come from? Where did that image come from, by the way? Because it was black before. I don't understand.
Who knows?
I wish my eyeball would get fixed.
What?
My gimpy eye. My right eye is gimpy always. The other one's way open, and it's and closed. I mean, literally one's at like half mast all the time.
Well, I'm wondering with your comment about you wish it would get fixed. How does one get that fixed?
Eye patch, from what I understand, is my only solution. That or being in the dark room that I had previously discussed. Super dark room.
So you need to wear an eye patch in a dark room.
no. No. The patch is unnecessary but the room has to be completely void of light, and it has to be for a 3-day stay, and so you have to somehow find a way to feed me and water me and allow me to,
I believe
do
you
all
would have
those
to
things.
feed yourself and water yourself, you mean?
No, but I mean, food has to come into me. In other words, for me to survive, and I have to get rid of certain things out of my body. In other words,
I'm
all that
not
has to
sure why you're
transpire.
relying on others for this.
No, because
You're an
I'm
adult.
locked in a room, blind. I'm blind, locked in a room, so I can't get my food. I can't exactly
Fine,
go
we'll
to a
give you a
cupboard
Pretty
few
and
cans
sure
of
blind people still eat on their own.
no, but
Just because
you
you're
get a
blind
few cans of
doesn't.
beanie weenies and a spork.
Yeah.
but it has to be a very controlled environment, being so dark that it is. So in other words, there's no microwave, there's no electric sockets. There's just a blank
You
black
keep beanie
walls
weenies
Yeah.
cold.
with light absorbent material on them and photon sensors. Just making sure that not even a
I'm
single
not
particle is.
understanding the problem here. I'm pretty sure you can open a can of beanie weenies without light. You can eat it without light.
Well, I probably could, but I need
You
3 days
can
worth of
feel
I
around
need
to the
three
toilet.
days worth of food, so I need three
Well,
square
3 days
meals for
worth of
3 days.
beanie weenies ain't but about 285.
I
Yeah.
guess.
And I mean, it means that you're not going to be able to eat at the gas station. They're going to think that you died. You're a homeless.
Homeless people are going to move back in and take your turf.
Yeah.
I, mm, I, mm, I don't like beanie weenies, by the way, so I don't think I would be eating those.
You shouldn't.
So Nick just posted Squatting Dog has an update for the Uninstaller LabTech plugin. So if you're using that,
And some other LabTech plugins, some new stuff. You got something like a LabTech Touch or something plug-in. And some things look interesting I haven't seen there before.
Yeah, solitary confinement RTM tech. Yeah, that's the procedure, but maybe I should just try the patch first. I think maybe the patch would be good first, just to warm me up to the process. Chinese lady found dead in an elevator.
oh, what are you talking about?
Cybercrypt, I'm not following you about the Chinese lady in the elevator, but my sympathies to her family, and it's a great loss.
You know you don't have to apologize to everyone's family that has passed, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Especially if you have like no other connection to them at all.
The Chinese lady, I have a connection to every human being on this planet. I feel very much like Bernie Sanders in that regard. I might even have a bonding with dogs and cats and stuff too, but and other animals. But
Well, you definitely do with dogs. A very creepy one.
anyway, why don't you have more
Or what?
more stories? There was lots of more cool stories that happened over this week, and I want covering them.
Why don't you have any of them?
Okay, all right. What about?
Stop using your desktop. There's story number 1.
No. So here is how kids, teens react to Windows 95 in modern era teens. That's kind of scary, by the way. There's a video in there of it, and yeah, some kids obviously weren't born when Windows 95 was out, so. Um,
Oh wow, Glenn, that's crazy. So that woman in China the elevator maintenance crew shut off power without checking if anyone was inside. And once they finally restored power, they found her dead inside.
Yeah, she's
Terrible.
been in there
way.
for a month.
Yeah, terrible way to go.
Oh, that is horrible. A month, my lord. You talked about the OS X ransomware earlier. I can't remember.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's gonna be an R-rated Batman vs Superman cut. Nice. A man was busted for pirating movie audio at a drive-in theater. I didn't realize drive-in still existed, but yeah. Oh, and this one, Brantley, I got this one for you. I saw this. This was a cute one. You want to check this one out, Brantley? And it talks about your problem.
AmGeek responded to your blog thing. He says it should be the highest priority.
Okay.
And AmGeek, we had talked about it earlier that we were probably going to go ahead and do it either way. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm distracted by that bottom link that was on that article that Glenn posted. Apparently, other countries have really hot politicians.
If any of you are old school fans of the Myst and Ribbon games or whatever, you may be interested to hear that they're working, or that they've got another one coming out. The guys that were behind that.
It's a huge link, but that was on the article about the Chinese lady.
More importantly, though, I heard this story over the weekend, and I was shocked.
25 stunning female politicians and correspondents.
And I want you to hear your guys' take on it, but
I was shocked.
I was shocked. Okay, so this was the title of it. Teen charged for stealing nude photo from teacher's phone. My question is, why the fuck are teachers bringing nude photos of themselves to their phones
Michael, because they're bringing their fucking phones, asshole.
Well, they shouldn't.
Hey, everything's on your fucking phone, isn't it?
Listen, no, it would be like if they found Penthouse of Playboy in a teacher's desk at school, they would be charged with it, or they would have.
Not the same.
It is the exact same.
It's the exact same at all.
Exact same. Teachers should
Michael,
take responsibility.
there's probably naked pics on your phone right now.
No, there isn't, and I never have put a naked pic on my phone. Actually, I did once. But at any rate, the teachers certainly shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, as I understand, it was a text from her to her boyfriend. It's her fucking phone. She can do what the fuck she wants with it.
Not at school.
It's her own personal, private phone.
Mm-hmm. So STFU and go home.
Discipline because of it.
In other words, what Michael found shocking is that teachers are people too.
I know, right?
No, they should not be engaging in those activities while at school. They should not be engaged in that while they're teaching their kids.
That's like a student stealing a lady's purse at school. That's far worse than finding that
it's
lady.
It's not the kid's fault. It's the teacher's fault.
It's not the kid's fault. He's a fucking thief and stole everything that the woman owns.
Yeah, that's the problem with this nation. They don't blame the right people anymore.
You're damn right.
Exactly. She should blame herself.
And it's people like you with your attitude, Michael.
She should blame herself. It's her fault.
That's the kid. It's
her fault.
It's not her fault.
You can't say this kid stole something from this teacher. It's her fault. She shouldn't have had it anyway.
It's her
fault. Glad you're not a parent, Michael.
It's her fault.
She wasn't doing anything wrong, Michael.
Too many people like you on.
Yeah, I mean, what she did didn't violate any law.
I know they should have laws that repeat that. Teachers should not bring.
Well, we shouldn't be accountable to laws that aren't on the books.
It's nothing about the teacher at all. The point is that
What the F does the teacher have to even do with this
The
story?
teacher is
Other
at
than
fault.
she was in
She
the
should be arrested. She should be
Michael,
fired.
there's
She
no,
should be
no
fired.
the
No.
person
She should be fired.
Oh my
stole
God! Somebody ought to arrest you for having dumb opinions.
Yeah, that
I-
should be
I
a law on the
think-
books.
Jeez.
Michael,
You
if
guys
your
are the
car
problem.
gets
You guys are
stolen,
the problem. Education is
It's
the
your
way.
fault for having
Michael,
a
Your
yeah.
fault for having it.
yeah, if your car gets stolen and then they wreck
It's my
and
fault
kill
for not
somebody,
locking it. It's my fault
They're
for not
gonna
locking
arrest
it.
you.
pretty
for
sure it's
fault.
your fault for that person dying. Because
Exactly.
you allowed your car to get stolen. That is
Exactly.
so retarded. It's just terrible.
Oh wow. Obviously, we're not going to agree on this one, but I mean, everybody knows Michael messed in the head. So
Yeah.
Yeah, see, RTM Tech agrees with me.
no, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he
I don't
does.
see it. I don't believe it.
And RTM Tech, that's different though. That's a teacher touching another teacher's stuff, which still probably shouldn't have been the case there.
These
Man, I
are
can't believe-
children. Of course they are going to open up the cookie jar. Of course they are going to open up the cookie jar.
Michael, these children are damn near adults. You put them behind fucking wheels of 2-ton vehicles that can kill other motherfuckers too, with
Hey,
the license to drive them legally.
And I think
You're
that should be
telling me
like
that
New
they're not
York, where it should be at
responsible
least
for
18,
knowing
if
right
not
the
21
fuck
to
from
drive.
wrong?
Yeah,
should be
and
like New York,
RTM,
where they
that
can
dumb?
is-
RTM Tech said he doesn't.
wanted it, so it's okay.
RTM Tech says he doesn't agree with you. Private property, no one should access it without permission.
That's right.
It's not appropriate to bring it to school.
Michael, maybe it wasn't appropriate for her to be a teacher because she was hot enough to have a nude pic. Is that what you're saying? I mean, because you could say that too. It sounds just as dumb,
I didn't say that.
but you're thinking it.
No, I'm not. Don't tell me what I'm thinking.
Hey, RTM Tech, that link you posted is a page to nowhere and looks like it's only part of a link. Blue screen trouble. Looks like you posted news Los Angeles-weather.com.
But back to that other thing. Even though, Michael, I respect your opinion in some way, shape, or form, somewhere about something, I'm sure. We still like you. And the other thing is where I'm going to go ahead and do that SFX mini thing. For sure. Just changing the subject.
Yeah, good call.
It's like the longest period of uncomfortable silence. Is Michael's video frozen, or is it just Michael that's frozen?
I think it's
Michael's
frozen.
video is frozen.
I'm not
Okay.
frozen.
And he keeps using his desktop, so it keeps showing up on the video. Proctor, I think we're going to have to go back to you hosting the show.
All right.
'Cause Michael can't handle the responsibility. Los Angeles meteorologist wardrobe malfunction. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yep.
Oh, because she wore a green screen?
Right now, temperatures in the 30s. In the
Oh,
high
stop
different
playing sound.
That wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you, it was me. That's fun. So she wore a green dress for her green screen.
Oh, the news reporter?
I still can't believe Michael has that opinion on the teacher thing.
Absolutely. Well, everybody I talked to had the same opinion.
Your video is still frozen. It's so funny.
Well, I don't think anyone is going to argue that we don't want our kids seeing that type of content, but at the same point, that's private property. The kids shouldn't have touched it at all.
Look.
Excuse
me. How many times have a kid,
Michael,
a student,
unfortunately, we did that already,
how many times does a student touch something they shouldn't have touched? How many times does a teacher...
That doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right, but it's going to happen.
We're not going
Teachers
to
should not have those
it
things
not
on the
being
phone
right
while
is
they're
the
at
reason
school.
why.
They should not have it on the phone while they're at school. And if they're more concerned about the nude photos on their phone than they are about our kids' education, they're the ones at fault.
How is that being more concerned about
What the hell are you smoking, Michael?
How are you drawing these conclusions? Just like picking them out of the air and...
I know. He's just like, oh, here's a...
It's not like she was like, hold on, class, sit down, be quiet, I have to check my phone. Okay.
That's exactly
now,
what you probably did.
I'm going to put my phone on the desk in plain view of all you students.
Exactly.
And make sure no one comes and looks at the screen while I've left it on and visible. Oh, and I'll also use the projector mode to project onto the ceiling. Don't look up there. That's not what happened. Not what happened at all, Michael.
Exactly what happened.
This kid went and grabbed someone's phone and looked through it. You, the most privacy-minded person among us, should be the most pissed off about this.
Look,
Ed, you're
the
pissed
teacher
off
should
at
have
the
the teacher
who
should
has
have
the
password
issue
protected
with
her
it.
phone. The teacher should have locked it. The teacher, it was her responsibility if it had pornographic material to prevent it from getting in the kid's hands, and she failed to do that.
Michael, shut the fuck up. Jesus. If it's the teacher's problem for bringing her phone to school, why isn't the fucking kid's problem for bringing his phone to school if you want to take that fucking angle?
I think phones should be banned from school. I think cell phones should be banned from school. I don't think kids should be allowed to bring cell phones into class at all. Absolutely not. Again, I'm just talking about...
Okay, fine, but let's back up. Why is this her fault again?
Because she failed to protect, even if she did have access. Let's say she had a hot Bunsen burner, okay? She would be required to lock that,
Michael.
or to prevent the kids from getting burned by it, to otherwise prevent them from access from it. She didn't password protect her phone. She didn't
safety have nothing to do with privacy issues and theft. Okay?
Stealing is wrong, Michael.
Not the same thing.
Listen, it has nothing to do about it being exposed, but she should have had, just like Brantley said, the password on it or whatever she needed to protect the kid.
I didn't say anything.
That doesn't make it right, Michael.
No, the only way she would be in the wrong, Michael, if you're referring to what I was saying, is if she stopped the class, left her phone on with the screen on and the picture showing on the screen, and then passed it around the classroom. That'd be the only way she would be in the wrong. Otherwise,
this nymphomaniac is not welcome to teach any of my children.
I'm just going to leave this unlocked phone here with my photo showing from Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's not what happened. If your children are out there stealing stuff, they should probably be in jail. And Michael, thank God you don't have any children.
I've been saying that. But the problem is that too many people like him do. Or too many people like him think that they know how to raise children.
I don't care that they stole that video game. You shouldn't have had it out to where they could get it. I mean, it just...
Yeah, it's terrible logic.
I'm really sick of not blaming...
Yeah, you shouldn't have left that candy bar out on the shelf.
I am so sick of not blaming the actual person at fault. And I'm so sick of children being called children when a year later they're being called adults. And even years before that, they're allowed to kill other people.
I
Children
think
have a
that
license.
it should fall back on the parents. Like, whoever the parents of that kid are should be going to jail for theft right now.
Well, that's a
That's how it should be handled.
I
Because
don't
then parents
that far, but you're on to something.
parents should be in charge of their kids.
Mhm.
That's the biggest issue. Parents are not taking responsibility for their kids.
That's
what ends up happening.
I agree, but I still think that teacher should be fired.
What action was taken against the teacher? I don't remember.
Probably
don't know.
nothing. They said there was nothing wrong. She was perfectly. The kid was all
No,
the
they
kid's
said
fault.
the article I read said they didn't know whether or not they would be taking any action against her. But she, well, no, that was
gotta
the
do it
first
against
one I
the
read.
kid
I'm sorry,
whose hormones
I'm
were
sorry,
just leading him
Michael.
to-
I'm sorry, Shot. I'm sorry. I later read that she did quit because she was pressured into quitting or facing this.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her for quitting.
And a sad day for
Yeah.
this country and freedom and bringing up our kids with respect and morals and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone
I know you don't have. I know you don't
harmed
have
her by stealing something from her, and she loses her job over it.
I know you don't have regard for this.
And it's not like we have a shit
The
ton
rest of the human race pretty much does.
Like, she should be commended at all for going out there and teaching these freaking
I
hooligans.
know, right? They should give her
Raised by these terrible parents.
pieces of crap and there are 30 pieces of turd in a room. But you deal with them all day.
Yeah, and it is something chronic, RTM Tech. And Glenn, you rebel, you bringing the Polaroid in.
Polaroid. I remember I had a teacher that I was most definitely would have. She could not have worn a skirt tight enough, to if I had a cell phone. That she could not have. There's no way.
SLR. Jeez, Glenn. All right. Well, on
But I
that
guess
wonderful
it would have been her
topic.
fault for looking hot.
Yeah, that is her fault.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's always the victim's fault.
Yeah.
See, take that with rape cases. What if a child
let's
raped?
not even
What if the kid raped the teacher? Would
let's
that
not
be
let's
his
not
fault?
go down that road, because I don't
Okay.
even want to know Michael's opinion on that, and I
You're
don't.
right. You're probably right. You
don't. Anyway, I think we should go ahead and wrap it up on that wonderful take there.
Happy Monday. Let's go.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us. We're gonna get started on a SFX Mini self-hosted version, and
Already did.
we will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you have any other questions about our software or anything of tech nature, we'll be more than happy to talk with you about it. Otherwise, we'll go on these random rants that it's terrible for some points at times.
And it's usually us against Michael, so.
Anyway.
I drop the F-bombs and he won't quit talking.
So, thanks everyone for joining us. RTM Tech, Cybercrypt, Glenn, Zombie Worm, Amgeek, all of you. We welcome you all into our chat, and we will see you all tomorrow. Go ahead and take it out, Michael.
Yes,